We are back in the Apdl. It is season 4, week 4. We had our work cut out for us this week, going up against the Montana Miltanks. Evan is the coach of them. The Flapple. Big pain in the ass, boys. I knew going into it, it was going to be very, very tricky to plan around. Even with it being scarfed, I wasn't going to want to take any of the grab apple with it being hustled. So, this is one of the few times, especially with after some losses, I put a little bit more time. I actually ran a calc for once because I needed the win. And I realized that unless he choice scarfed his Flapple, he could not outspeed anything on my team. So I figured just in the odd chance that it was, scarfed, maybe I could bring a little bit of sticky web action. It did end up doing a little less than I thought it would, but it did work. We were talking a little bit beforehand, trying to figure out what to do with preps, and couldn't figure it out. So I was like shooting the shit with Garrett, and he's like, yo, this guy has this, and I'm like, no way. Didn't even think about bringing it. So we brought it, tried to run it in, and he gave us a run for our money. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna move forward here, and we're gonna see what exactly happened this week. So as you can see, he brought a decent amount of scary things. The lichen rock I was very worried about, the flapple I was very worried about, and the quillfish. I was not expecting the quillfish, but it proved to be a little bit worse, a little bit more of a pain in my side. But without further ado, let's get into it here. So he starts out with the Yote, lichen rock. We send out Galvantula. He gets a sword dance off, already a little worried, but we got a sticky web. It's kind of what we wanted. We just survive a stomping tantrum, and we hit out a volt switch. We go straight into the grab locked. Quillfish gets the speed lowered, and then we hit him with a drain punch. This thing is rocky helmeted, and it has poison point. So we're not looking too good. So we take back Kraken jokes. We send out Planty Dropper. He throws out some spikes. We throw out some stealth rocks. He takes a little bit of damage there, and then he throws a Dragon Dance up, which I wasn't expecting. I went to Leech Seed, which I also didn't realize he'd be immune to. So we send out a Lowland Persian, and we get a Grav Apple here. We send out an Icy Wind just fast enough to attack it. It's at 3% now, lowered speed. He swaps out into Lichen Rock. And then we throw in Doug Trio. I know his Flapple now is just going to take damage from the rocks, so I'm not too worried about it. So he sends in Quillfish. Eat that shit up with an Earthquake. Then he sends out Parasite. And this thing proved to be a bigger pain in my ass than I actually thought it would be as well. So it's like a tanky boy. We swap out, we throw out some Cradly action, hoping to get maybe like a Toxic or something. So he throws in Miltank, gets the speed lowered. We go straight for a Leech Seed right away because we're just trying to keep the health up here. Fire Punch does 16%. We put a decent amount of defense into this thing. We get the Toxic up. He goes for an Earthquake. I thought he'd swap out again, so we went for another Toxic. And then at this point, I realized he was going to stay in. So it dies, and we were going to go for a recover, but it did flinch. He goes for a Morning Sun. We go for a Leech Seed. He gets a Poison Jab. We eat that shit. We do get poisoned, however, but we throw up a recover. We're feeling pretty good. We're back up to 86%. He's up to 59. He swaps out to Lichen Rock again. And then at this point, I throw a Toxic, but it misses. He gets a close combat, absolutely destroys us. And now we are down there. We send out Grab Locked. I'm thinking like he'll attack. We'll survive one hit. Gets a crit, which is like very unideal. I don't know why I went for a bulk up. I should have just went for a drain punch there. So Kraken Jokes is now done. Very short-lived so far in the season. We send out Doug Trio, get a nice Earthquake, we clean it up. And now we're in a pretty good position because now he's just got the Jellicent, which I'm a little worried about, but here we throw out Stinky Pinky, and I just think we'll get some Calm Minds up. Because at this point, even if he gets us with a Toxic, we have a Magic Guard, so it's not going to deal any damage to us. And then we just keep Calm Minding here, just for the extra attack, because I want to be able to one-shot that thing in case it has some health regen. He sends in the Rapidash. At this point, we go for another Calm Mind, just because I want that 3% special attack. He gets us with a Poison Jab, and it cripples us fairly well, but We do enough with the Moonblast to get through it. Sends out the Jellicent. I think here I wish just to be safe, just because I know it'll like live. Throw out a Moonblast, nice 47%. And then he gets the Cursed Body. So at this point, I have no moves to attack with, so I'm just, I'm throwing up Wish to Heal, throwing up another Calm Mind. We were even talking, like, we're both kind of just sitting here, not doing anything because, no one could do anything else. So he's slowly healing 2% to 6% at a time. We're just throwing up Calm Mind after Calm Mind. Eventually, Disable does end, so we throw out a Moonblast. Nice 65% proc. We didn't get Cursed Bodied again, thankfully. And then we throw out a Wish here, I believe, because we kind of predicted a Protect. And then we throw out another Moonblast. And then he swaps in to Flapple. And Flapple goes down. So we did take this week. It proved to be a lot harder than I had originally hoped. Even with the Sticky Web on there, it really was a tough match. I think if I did not bring that Sticky Web, I don't think I would have won that game. Evan has shown that he's very, very good. Very, very good at Pokemon. Very, very good at making things work. Even though he is like lower in the standings right now, I think he's the 14th ranked team. After seeing what he did last week, I knew he had a fire in his belly. I knew he was trying to go forward. I'm excited to see what he can do going forward as well, because I think depending on what his record is, he still might be able to make playoffs. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm excited to see what he does. If he doesn't make playoffs this season, I'm excited to see what he'll do next season with it. Next week, we go up against Peyton, coach of the Jamestown Jolteons. He has, I think, one loss under his belt this entire season so far. I'm worried. I'm very worried against playing him. I think it's going to be a tough match. I think it's going to be very, very fun. And I'm going to have to bring in my all. And, maybe we'll swap up the roster before we play. Who knows? The only thing that's really going to be electrifying
is this display of skill.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We're slowly getting these out bit by bit, and I'll see you guys next week.